everybody. My name is Jeremy Herrman. I am the CEO and co-founder of ClarityNOW. Tristan's supposed to be here today, but unfortunately, Tristan is sick. So I told him to rest up and get better. A little bit about me, guys. This is our first time doing a webinar with you, and we're super excited to be a part of this ongoing series with you. And we called it, finding clarity, your roadmap to success with Tristan and Jeremy for a reason. And the reason is because I've been in real estate for 18 years. Coming up on 19 years. And it's funny, 18 years coming up on 17, 18 years coming up on 19 years. And the last 5 years, I've actually been a coach. So I love real estate. It's all I've ever done. I love realtors. And one of the things that I am really, really passionate about that I've experienced a lot in coaching is that I trust that everybody on the call right now, everybody watching this on live stream, I trust that you guys are all great real estate agents. You guys know how to sell real estate. You know how to lead generate. You know how to find clients. You know how to show homes and get contracts signed and work them through closing and ultimately get paid. What I've noticed a lot of real estate agents struggling with is the skill set of being a business owner. You see, being a real estate agent and being a business owner are just entirely different skill sets. They really are. I believe as a coach that almost everything in business ultimately boils down to math. And I know a lot of people, will do that to math. They don't like math. I totally understand that. But the reality, guys, is that math shows your habits. Okay, numbers shows your habits. When I can see the numbers of a business, the numbers of that business will then tell me a story. And based on that story, I know what to pivot or adjust to make sure that I am running a business more effectively, hitting my profit goals, bringing in the income for my family, etc. So what I'm really passionate about is helping agents transform from being a real estate agent into a business owner. And through that, we built a great tool called ClarityNOW, which I'll show you guys kind of throughout this webinar and over the next 25 minutes together here. When I talk to agents, this is November 16th, it's business planning time. When I talk to agents, I oftentimes ask people, what are your goals? And if I say, what's your goal? Typically, you're going to get one of three responses back, and usually one of two responses back. Those responses are usually, I want to sell X amount of homes per year, or I want to do X amount of volume per year. So if that's you, I trust that that's probably a lot of people that are watching this now. If I say, what's your goal for next year? You say, well, I have a goal of selling 20 homes, or I want to sell 30 homes, or I want to do 5 million, whatever the number is. The challenge with that, guys, and where I push back on that is if I say to someone, what's your goal? And they say, I want to sell 20 homes next year. And I say, great. So if you sell 20 homes next year, did you win? And I'll say, hell yeah, I won. That'd be awesome. And I'll say, okay, great. If you sold 20 homes, but you only netted, let's say $60,000. Did you win? And I'll go, well, no. So it's really not about how many homes you sell or what your volume is. It's about how much you keep. And see, real estate agents is one of the industries where you guys will work the entire freaking year. You guys will work all year long. And at the end of the year, basically say, how much did I make? Versus starting the goal with, here's how much I want to make. So what does the production need to be to actually net that amount for my family? Therefore, what do the results have to look like, or the activities have to look like, and then how are we staying on track throughout the year? So if that's you, if you're the kind of person where you understand that you're probably great at selling real estate, but maybe the actual act of being a business owner in real estate is something that you struggle with, you don't need to put here in the chat box. I won't ask you to do that, but ask yourself internally if that's true. The way to think about that too is think about a CEO that you admire. Okay, who is a CEO that you admire, ideally in real estate or any company for that matter? And if you think about what is it about that person? What are the traits in that person that you admire? Is it that they're always focused? Is that they always are working on their priorities? That they know their numbers? They're great recruiters. Whatever those things are for you, those are oftentimes the things in yourself that you have to get better at. And those things typically are not going to be how to show homes. It's really going to be more on the business side. So one thing I want to start with is showing you guys really how to build a business plan based on net profit. And as I show this to you guys, I'm going to share my screen. As I show this to you guys, one thing that I'm really proud about with my company in ClarityNOW, this is ClarityNOW here, by the way, is that I love realtors, like I mentioned before. We actually made the decision when we built this company to have a free version of ClarityNOW that anyone can sign up for. So if someone wanted to go to claritynow.com, it's www.claritynowre.com. I put that in the chat box. Anybody can sign up for ClarityNOW for free with no credit card required, and you're going to get a limited version that you can use, but it's still a great tool. So what I say is that if you're doing under, say, $60,000, $70,000 a year of income from selling real estate, you probably should limit the amount of tech you're paying for. So if you're making under $70,000 a year, go use the free version. If you're making over $70,000 a year, you probably should invest in tech that helps you run your business and get out of spreadsheets. And we have a great offer for you here today too. But I want to show you how this works. The business plan really starts with the economic model. And what's so cool about this economic model, guys, is it works for every single real estate agent in the industry, every one of you. So I own a team, I'm a rainmaker, and I have additional salespeople. I'm on a team. So if you have a team, you can give a ClarityNOW account to the agents on your team. I love this status because as a coach, what I often see is the rainmaker or the business owner, they have all the tech and the tools that they need, but the agents on the team sometimes get shafted and they don't have the tools that they need, but they're a business too. And they have a family as well. Or I'm an individual agent. I may have staff, but no additional salespeople. Let's say that I'm an individual agent. And let's say the first question here is, what is your net profit goal? I'm going to say I want to make $150,000. You can put in whatever you want. Type in your average sales price. What is your average commission? So here's my average check. What listing conversion metrics do you have? So what percentage of appointments that you go on will get signed? What percentage of listings that you sign do you think are actually going to close? And what percentage of your business is going to be listing based versus buyer based? The same questions on the buy side. What percentage of buyer consults will sign a buyer's agreement? Make sure we're getting buyer's agreement signed. And what percentage of those that sign a buyer's agreement will actually result in a closing? On average, how much do you intend on spending per month in your business? I'm going to say I spend maybe $3,500 a month, around $42,000 a year. This right here, guys, is a great example as to why the volume goal and why the GCI goal or the unit goal doesn't really matter, because we have expenses, we have cost of sales, there's referral fees, there's splits and caps with our brokers. If you own a team, you got splits with your team members. The net is so much more important than the top line GCI number. So I'm going to say I spend $3,500 a month, approximately $42,000 a year. This question is really important. This is really important for you guys to know that we work for every single brokerage out there. This question is saying, is there a maximum amount that you pay your broker per year? So does your broker have a cap? If the answer is no, then the question changes to what percentage of all of your commissions goes to your broker. I'm going to say that I work for a company that has a cap, and maybe my cap is $17,000. Do you have a franchise fee? Yes, $3,000. Do you have an ISA department? I'll say no. How many referral fees will you pay out? Maybe I'll get 2 a year and I pay out 25%. Do you pay an admin fee in every closed listing? Let's say that I take advantage and I pay for an operations service and I pay $325 per file to have someone do the operational work for me. Or maybe my office charges a fee for every listing or every closing, right? What seasonality will your business occur, and hit submit? And now you and every single real estate agent in the country can create a plan based on net. So this now tells me that if I want to net $150,000, it's 7.8 million, 224,000 in GCI. It's going to be 24 units, 10 listing sales, 14 buyer sales. Here's my cost of sales, which is going to be my cap, my franchise fee, how much I'm paying out in referral fees, how much I'm paying out to my operations team to manage my transactions. I'll have 192 in gross profit, 42,000 in expenses. So that gets me back to my net of 150. My business will be 67% profitable almost. And I'll need to go on these number of appointments to get the result that I desire. So first and foremost, every single agent now can officially create this for free. This feature right here, this economic model, is part of the freemium version. So everyone in the world, everyone in North America can do this for free. The second thing I want to show you guys, though, now that we have the goal, is part of being a business owner is how should you think about your business, week to week, day to day. Okay, so to talk about that, and I'm going to come off screen here for a second, or come back on screen. I find that, to me, what separates great business owners and average business owners is their ability to prioritize and stay focused on the things that matter most. If you have a tendency to squirrel from day to day, or maybe work all day and not do something that's actually productive, put me in the chat box. I trust that whether you type it or not, that's going to resonate with a lot of us. The best business owners in the industry are the ones that know how to prioritize, and they know where our focus should be. But how do you do that? How do you know where your focus should be? There's so many things that we got to do. There's so many fires we got to put out. Plus we have our personal lives. Well, to me, there's actually a great model that we can use to showcase this. And I'll share this with you. It comes from an author named Michael Michalowicz. He wrote a great book that I hope all of you guys read if you haven't already, called Profit First. It's an awesome book. If you haven't read Profit First, I suggest that you do. If you have, put me in the chat box there. But he wrote another book called Fix This Next. Okay, Fix This Next. And in there, he came up with what he called the business hierarchy of needs. And I'm going to show this to you here. This is slide 45, presenter view. Okay, cool. Trenton, thumbs up here. You guys can see this correctly, correct? I'm going to say yes for good.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, good. So the business hierarchy of needs, it really stems from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And a lot of you guys are probably familiar with this. The way that Maslow's hierarchy of needs works is there's 5 different buckets, okay? Physiological, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. The way these work, guys, is that the bucket has to be completely filled before you can go on to the next, okay? So let's say that Tristan and I were hanging out, we're having lunch, and we're enjoying each other's company, and I'm currently hanging out in esteem. Okay, I have confidence, the respect of others. I'm hanging out with my friends. This is the current state in Maslow's hierarchy that I currently am in. And we decided to grab, let's say we're in California. Let's say we're eating burritos. Okay, Tristan's a Mexican food guy. And while we're eating lunch, I'm hanging out in esteem. I start choking on my burrito. Right? I can't breathe anymore. My body immediately drops down to physiological. I can't be cool and have confidence when I can't breathe, right? I immediately drop down to physiological. See, guys, the challenge is that our body does this naturally, but our business and the way that we handle our business and treat our business, we don't always catch these signs. So Michael Michalowicz came out with the business hierarchy of needs. And what this is the same kind of concept, where the base is sales, which is the creation of cash, okay? Then there's profit, which is the creation of stability. Your business has to have stable, has to have money in the bank. Then and only then do we earn the right to go up to order, which is efficiency. And notice what word I use there. I said earn the right. We earn the right to go to order. Order, guys, is like, what systems do I need to build? What campaigns do I need to create? Who do I need to hire? What social media posts do I have to make? Or, you could argue social certainly could be part of lead gen. But the point here is that when we're working in order, we're not lead generating, right? We're typically not doing things that are driving sales and creating profit. We're working on systems. Then and only then do we get to go to the give section, which is impact and legacy. And guys, I'll tell you that as a coach, I have had really only one client that we got to talk about this section very often. We usually bounce between these pillars from week to week. So the question is, how do I know where I should be? Should I be in order? Should I be in sales? Should I be in profit? Let me go through and show you. To me, there's 2 things that tell you where you should be hanging out that you can use ClarityNOW for. One is our goal gap report. I'm going to show you guys how this works. So this shows us, and this is a demo account. In fact, I'll show you guys a real account. There's a client that I use, I coach that is always very open with this stuff. Let me show you guys real data here. Okay. So here's what we call the goal gap. What this does is it says, how many days do you have left to sell for properties that can close this quarter? And how many days do you have left to take listings for that quarter? Some of you may be confused by that. It all stems from what we call the business information, which is for you and your business, what is your average contract to close? Well, it takes 41 days. The ramp up period, how long does it take to make a listing go live? And then once it goes live, how long until it sells, your average days on market? This right here is going up across most of the country right now. So it's important to know what this number is, and you can tweak it and change it as often as you need. So based on these numbers, guys, it tells us that I only have 5 days left to sell. I'm already a third into taking listings for properties that can close in Q4 or in Q1. So when I look at my goal gap report and I can see that my goal in Q4, based on my economic model, is to close 33 homes for $6.6 million. I'm only at 27 for 3.2 because you enter your transactions into the system. Therefore, my gap is I still need 6 sales for $3.4 million, right? I only have 5 days to go. Well, that right there is going to tell you I got 5 days to go to sell 6 houses. If that's the case, do you have the ability to currently hang out in systems, or do you got to get your butt back down to lead generation? Right? For most of us in that situation, when we realize that, because clarity is power, when we realize that we only have 5 days left to sell 6 houses, nothing else matters in the systems world. We got to get back into sales. The next way that we can see this is, I think, is probably the most important report in ClarityNOW as a business owner, truly. And it's in the CEO summary, and it's what we call your projected net profit report. So the way this works, guys, and why this is so important is when you enter your transactions into the system, you're typing in what percentage your broker gets, how much you pay your team, whatever the cost of sales is. The gross profit is your money, right? This is what should actually get deposited into your bank account. This shows me that my gross profit for closed transactions in November is $16,000. I got $14,000 still pending. You add that up, I have $30,000, basically $31,000 of money coming in the month of November. My money that will get deposited. Now, in this person's economic model, they said they spend approximately $15,000 per month on their business. Therefore, we have an estimated net profit. We're going to net for our family somewhere around $16,000 in November. We're losing $9,400 in December. And if I go into 2024, we don't have any pendings yet for January. He's lowering his expenses. We're losing $12,000 in January. So when I look at my future income, if you like the numbers, if you think that that profit is exciting for you, then great, go hang out and order. What systems can we improve right now? Where can we make the business better and more systematic? If you don't like those numbers, we got to get out of here ASAP. Just like I was choking and I immediately dropped down to sales. If that's the case for you, your business is choking and we have to drop down to sales right away. The last part I'll show you guys, I think, is so important in business that we built out in ClarityNOW is in ClarityNOW, there also comes a profit and loss statement. Okay. So it tells you what is your income, your cost of sale, your franchise fees, how much you paid per category. I can see all this by dollar amount or by a percentage. Again, clarity is power, and numbers and knowing your business is super important. One thing I want to share with you guys, and I would like to open up to a Q&A if you guys have any questions, is our top tier of ClarityNOW typically costs $129 a month. With Black Friday coming up, Tristan and I worked together and we decided to come up with a promotional pricing for this community, which you guys will hear more about, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek on it now. I'm going to put this link in the chat box for you. But if you guys go to this link, you'll be able to sign up for the Business Plus version, the full platform, which is normally $129 a month for only $40. $40 a month, or you can pay $3.99 for the whole year if you want. It's a month-to-month contract if you choose monthly. For only $40 a month, you guys can finally have clarity on your business, have a business plan based on profit, have a pipeline report, have a profit and loss, know your future earnings, your lead source reports, really everything that you need to run a business for $40 a month. So that's the kind of introduction into myself and ClarityNOW and my passion behind what we built. If any of you have any questions, put something in the chat box. Let me know what questions you guys have, and I'm happy to answer. What did you guys take out of this call, or what questions do you have on kind of what we went over today? Anything specific? Now, one of my favorite quotes is, "What's most personal is most universal. So if it matters to you, share." What was that? Someone was talking?
I was going to say, it doesn't appear to be any questions at the moment here. But something that I kind of have a question for you is,
Yeah.
What are some of the goals that you set for yourself this year, and how are you planning to achieve them? And thinking about like being that we're at the end of the year, were you able to achieve those goals?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I set goals, I have business goals and personal goals, right? And I'm going to go kind of a different route with this. I think it's actually super important. As a coach, business is really important. But if we build a great business and you screw up your family life because of it, is that a trade that we're willing to make? And I'm going to just go ahead and say no. We're not willing to make that trade, right? So there is one aspect of goal setting where I think we really need to be also thinking about how do we want to grow personally? How do we want to grow our relationship with our kids, with our spouse? How do we want to better our health? And then ultimately create that schedule where you can accomplish the business goals and the personal goals week to week. And you can use kind of the same process here, not using ClarityNOW, but using a goal gap for yourself, right? If I want to get in a certain amount of shape, where should I be at by February? Where should I be at by January? Where should I be at by December 15th? And analyzing and tracking that currently. For myself, this year we had a goal of obviously growing ClarityNOW, which we've done, and we've had a lot of signups this month, which has been very exciting. Great feedback on it. We had a goal of launching an investment business this year, and we purchased 4 houses so far this year. Our goal is 7, so we fell a little bit short on that, but we did buy 4 homes this year, all off market. I hired a personal trainer this year and got some more accountability. So 2 times a month, I meet with a trainer in the morning, and that's shown through to my wife and my kids, and my meal prepping has gotten a lot better. My energy's a lot better. So I like to think about the business side and the personal side, but really with anything, we need to have accountability, right? That's why I hired a trainer, right? The challenge in most real estate businesses is they don't have accountability, but they also aren't aware of the numbers in a way where they can even see themselves what's happening. So that's where something like ClarityNOW and software helps, is because it brings to light what's actually happening in your business.
Yeah, that was kind of, leading into my next question of how important is the role of failure in the road to success and that approach to those setbacks?
That is such a good question. I have to share something with you. Let me find this for you. Here it is. All right, I'm going to share my screen. And this is something I talk a lot about too. It's called the single decision. And I wish I could quote where this came from, but I want to say it's from Tim Ferriss, but I may be wrong on that. But it says that dealing with the temporary frustration of not making progress is an integral part of the path towards excellence. It's essential and something every single elite athlete has had to learn to deal with. And if the pursuit of excellence was easy, everyone would do it. But in fact, this impatience in dealing with frustration is the primary reason that most people fail to achieve their goals. See, they have an unreasonable expectations for how long it should take, which now makes us unnecessarily frustrated, which makes me feel like a failure. Right? I think that is so true. It's so true. And it says the secret is to show up, do the work, and go home. I have a blue-collar work ethic married to an indomitable will, and I love this. And accept that quality long-term results requires quality long-term focus. Right? Quality long-term results requires quality long-term focus. And this part's important too. No beating yourself up. Enjoy the process, because the reality is those 2 brief moments of triumphs is going to have a lot of failure along the way. So it's a trend, and I love that question. I think it is pivotal. And more importantly, I actually think that the mindset should be different, where it's not, oh my gosh, I failed, but why did we expect we wouldn't?
Right. And that ties in right now with like my own personal life of where I have this goal that I'm setting and, I'm on pace for it. But then I'm thinking, well, what happens? I'm thinking about Thanksgiving, how that's going to cause some setbacks, going on vacation, being away for a while, away from my daily things that I'm working on to better myself. So I'm trying to think of, maybe I shouldn't focus I shouldn't focus so much on the what happens if, and focus more on the, well, as long as I continue that progress and don't worry about those setbacks, then that clarity is going to be there for me to go forward.
Yeah, I appreciate your vulnerability in that, because I know that resonates with everybody who watches. We all have those moments of being unsure about what we're doing or thinking is what am I doing actually right? And it happens to everybody. It happens to everybody. Again, failure is just part of the process. I there's a lot of clients right now that have had a down year, and their business isn't where they want it to be, isn't where they had hoped it would be. And one of the things that was posted in Lab Coats a couple of days ago is that someone posted, all realtors should start doing what? Or what is something every real estate agent should start doing? I think is how it was worded. And people are funny on there, like always. They put, answer their phone and stuff like that. I put work as if your family depends on.
Yeah, that's
right. Because the other side is to keep doing exactly what you're doing, or even worse, feel bad about yourself and do less. That's not going to get you there. We have to overcome those obstacles, overcome those hurdles, and just accept, setbacks happen.
Great. One question, last one I have for you is, being able to balance your vision and execution here, and how are you balancing big picture thinking with the day-to-day execution of tasks?
Okay. I mean, it kind of goes back to the priorities. Big picture thinking is super important because you got to know where you're going and what you ultimately are building. But you also got to realize at what point is it a distraction and there's more harm not executing what needs to happen today. Meaning I could be big picture thinking about what I want to build over the next 4 or 5 years and be focused on putting all the pieces together for the next 6 months while I don't sell real estate and go bankrupt. Right. So there has to be a balancing act. I have a client right now who has an ISA department that's not working. He likes the ISA department, but he's got a bunch of other challenges in his business. We actually discussed we should probably just get rid of the ISA department. Doesn't mean we can't come back and build it again later, but right now we don't need that additional hurdle, the additional mind space. No one owns it. So like there's no true leader of that department. It probably makes more sense to nix it entirely, even though it's part of the long-term vision. We can go build it back later, but right now let's push it to the side. So I think a lot of people, they struggle with that. Once they get started, they feel like they can't stop it. And it's sometimes the best decision that you can make in business is by quit doing something that's not working.
That's great. And being able to identify those problems and being able to, come to the conclusion that needs to be stopped in order to progress further, even if you do have to go back to restart that too. So yeah, I think that's great. So appreciate that.
Be honest. Good job. Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Well, we're almost here at the end of the call here. If you want to push that pre-Black Friday special once more, and
yeah, it's real simple, guys. It's $40 a month. It's very, very affordable. If you're making under 60 grand a year, under 70 grand a year, just go sign up for free. Use the free version because frankly, you probably shouldn't be buying a whole lot of stuff. If you're making over 70 grand a year and you think that we're acting more as an agent and not maybe lacking a little bit on the business owner side, go get clarity. Get clarity on your business, $40 a month-to-month contract. Give us a shot. And I promise you that it will help you understand your business more. And when you understand your business and your numbers, it gives you the ability to make pivots and adjustments before it's too late. So go sign up. Cool. Hey, it was a pleasure being with you guys. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving and a great Black Friday. And you'll see emails from us, so you don't need to take advantage of it today. Today was just really a precursor of what's to come. You can sign up today, but you can sign up traditionally over Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Thank you, guys. Let's wish Tristan to get well soon, and we'll see you guys next month. Bye.